Hello everyone, I'm Santos with 7 Cups Fine Chinese Tea, and this is Chris.
Hello.
And today we're going to be sampling a Anji style oolong, or a Taiwanese style oolong, which is basically a lighter oxidized rolled style of oolong tea. This one's going to be a Tieguanyin or golden Guanyin, and we'll be brewing in our large glass teapot, transferring to the pitcher for even distribution of flavor, and brewing at 100 degrees Celsius or roughly about 212 degrees Fahrenheit. Chris, can you tell us a little bit about this tea?
Oh, sure. Well, first of all, this style of tea is very popular. I know a lot of people, when they travel to China, they bring back some tea to share with their friends.
Mm-hmm.
Oftentimes it'll be Guanyin style of tea, like this. And the style, I think, originally came from Taiwan. And now it's popular to make Anji style tea out of this Tieguanyin cultivar in this more green, kind of balled up style. Previously, it was made in the more traditional style, the Black Dragon Wulong style that looks more like those ones over there. Long and thin and darker roasted.
Correct.
Yeah.
In contrast, Chris, I believe that we have apart from the environments, because a lot of tea that has the oolong or the dark dragon, black dragon characteristic and shape to it, which is very distinct with rock oolong, for example. Tieguanyin or Taiwanese style that are like this, that are greener and rolled, generally come from Anji County, or if not Taiwan, and also are less prone to the rocky, more volcanic soil that some cultivars in Fujian tend to grow in. So this is still from Fujian province. It'll be in Anji County, if I'm not mistaken. However, instead of being close to the city, this tea garden is actually far moved in the higher elevation in the mountainous areas surrounding Guanyin County, if I'm not mistaken. Our Tieguanyin is actually made with a pretty unique cultivar by the name of the Red Heart cultivar, as opposed to the Green Heart cultivar, which is a little bit more commercial and more for higher commercial yield of tea. For the Tieguanyin right here, for the picking standard, it'll be the Zhong Kaimian, if I'm not mistaken. And that's going to be the first leaf on the very top of the sprig is about 2/3 the size of the following leaf on the sprig. And also for the picking standard, or rather the picking season, this will be the first week of May, if I'm not sorry.
Oh, I'm not sure.
first week of May, which is actually pretty late in the season for tea picking.
I do know it's picked a little bit later than other teas because of the high elevation.
Correct. The high elevation, and actually the higher elevation results in the more cooler temperature, which actually kind of slows the growth of the tea leaves themselves.
All right, I'll go ahead and start the brewing process by heating up our pot and our pitchers and our cups. And while I do that, I'll talk a little bit about what makes this particular tea special. So not only is it made with the Red Heart variety, and a lot of commercial Tieguanyin is made with Green Heart variety, and also just other local varieties are thrown in there. But this one is made with 100% of that Red Heart variety, and it's also picked on the sunniest days of the season. So while they're picking it throughout I think it's about a 20-day harvest, and while they're picking it, they'll set aside the ones they pick on the sunniest days, and that'll be used to make the Guanyin, the golden Guanyin.
If you want, Chris, you can go ahead and give that a whiff. I'll go ahead and finish up.
Oh, sure.
These.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about why the tea picked on more sunny days is better?
Oh, no worries. So for very sunny days during the picking season for Tieguanyin. What makes it kind of beneficial for the plant itself is going to be the photosynthesis and the molecular activity that is kind of jump-started with the direct sunlight in that area. So with a lot of the area being in a high mountainous region, cooler temperatures with slow growth, and at times maybe overcast or maybe even cloudy kind of days for most of the year, these very bright sunny days make an excellent time for picking because of that slight transition in nutritional and molecular activity. In turn, this is how we get a really well-rounded tea that's not only floral, slightly fruity, even a touch of sour, if I may, but also buttery, full flavored with no bitterness. So it does have a very wide range of flavor as far as the minute changes that you'll pick up on during brewing and throughout the infusions, but you also will have a tea that will yield multiple infusions and actually will hold its flavor and profile as you work through those infusions.
Oh yeah, give that a smell and then let me know what you're picking up on.
It's like a blend of like how when you smell like roses bloom, sunflowers, like a hint of like a little bit of basil even.
Oh.
And the butteriness is not a direct butteriness. It's almost reminiscent of like a high-end or just like churned, like salted butter.
Ah, yeah.
You know, where you can kind of get the aroma of it.
Yeah.
Or even while it's like sizzling.
It's not like popcorn butter.
No.
Yeah.
But there is some quality to it that is quite charming. Well, the aroma itself is going to be pretty. It's going to have some floral notes to it, most definitely. It's less rosy than the dried or dampened tea leaves at first.
Yeah, maybe more like wildflower.
Most definitely. The wildflower is a little bit more. It's more almost like a complex combination.
Yeah.
It's very spring-like. Less nectarous in the sweetness and the not only the aroma and the brew. It's a little bit more almost savory for me.
Huh.
Not to say that it doesn't have its own sweetness that lingers. There is a sweetness that does linger. It's almost as if it is almost like dried apricot.
I think that's perfect. For some reason, I'm really picking up on the fruitiness, particularly today.
When you first have your sip, you get hits of floral, you get savory that tends to taper off, and then you get the sweet fruity, and then you get the very, very delicate combination of almost all three that almost lingers on the palate. It does fill the mouth, and it actually tends to hang out more in the sinus cavity as well. So not only are you feeling it on your tongue, you're also smelling it in the sinus cavity, and you're getting multiple layers of flavor that are slightly changing, that are slightly different, but are able to be distinguishable enough that you can actually pick it apart in your cup.
Yeah.
It would be very fascinating if you guys are Wulong drinkers or are new to Wulong. This style of Tieguanyin would be a great introduction.
Oh,
or
absolutely.
even for folks that are very heavily gravitating towards like green tea drinkers, this would be a great way to introduce or kind of
transition.
Yeah, transition your palate into maybe heavier teas. If you're trying to branch out a little bit more, this might be something of interest.
All right, well, I think we'll be continuing to drink this pretty much all day, and if you have had experience with Taiwanese tea, Anji Wulong, Tieguanyin, Or if you've had tea from China, you don't know what it is, and it looks like it's balled up and kind of green, it's probably this tea, or a similar kind of tea. So let us know about your experiences down in the comments section, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you for joining us.